Hello guys, my name is Anantius and today we're gonna do a quick mage guide for every dungeon. This week it's Fortified, Spiteful, Necrotic, so we're gonna talk about builds you can play. I'm not your crafter, I will do my suggestions, what I would play in these keys and on higher key level. So before we start, we're gonna explain some things. First of all, is some for some people low key is 23, and for some people 21 is a high key. So I'm not gonna divide this like builds and specs into low and high keys because it depends what key level you're like used to doing it. So if you're doing like 15, 16 only, and then you want to do 21, that's a high key for you. So you need to decide what you want to play. I will give you suggestions what you can play, and then if you need more AoE, go that build. If you need more single target, go that build. So it's on you. So let's get started. So first dungeon. Oh, sorry. Wait. So first dungeon is the other side. So in the other side, what I would play on this week is Nightfall Frost if we go left side first, if we go dealer first, because Nightfall Frost will bring you nice, very nice AoE damage for Ardenweald part. And if you are playing it, you should play Dreamweaver. And when it comes to conduits, Icy Propulsion, Shivering Core, and Unrelenting Cold. These conduits you always play if you play Nightfall Disciplinary Command Frost. Okay, Nightfall DC. You can play Frisian Winds if you're a beginner. If you're new to Mage, you need to you need some time to get used to it because it's easier to play with freezing winds, but it's way less AoE, but a bit more prior damage, maybe even equal like single target damage as disciplinary command. It's just easier to play because you don't have to check disciplinary command. If you are doing this, talents should be Bone Chilling and Frozen Touch and Freezing Rain. So as a mage, you always go Shimmer, Rune of Power, and Thermal Void as a Frost Mage. And then you can play around other talents. So you go Bone Chilling, Frozen Touch, and Freezing Rain. And this week Frigid Winds because extra slow is really good for Spiteful Shades. After Ardenweald, you can swap to Fire, but still it's Necrotic Wake, so maybe you should stay Frost if your tank or group requires that, because it's just way easier with Necrotic Stacks and Spiteful Shades to deal with if you are Frost. But if your group is fine with you going Fire, then it's like Fire is more single target, but also very good AoE. So if you go Fire, it's a Dreamweaver again. You need to actually go to your you need to swap your Dreamweaver Frost conduits to Dreamweaver Fire conduits. So either you put your Hearthstone in Ardenweald so you can change it, or maybe in Haven there is also a thing that you can change conduits, and then you use your portal to dungeon back. Or maybe if you have Warlock, he can summon you. So then you go always Infernal Cascade as a fire, Discipline of the Grow, and Master Flame. That's like AoE build. You can play Sun King's Blessing or Disciplinary Command. I prefer Sun King's Blessing because more consistent damage. Like you have like small combustions on every pull. Maybe you don't have big combustion, but small combustion is also fine. I mean, Disciplinary Command is also fine, but I would play Sun King's Blessing. Then also, as a fire mage, you always go like standard talents. And then this week, you can just, if you need like more speed, you can play Frenetic Speed for yourself, or Ice Ward, Double Frost Nova for more stops and shades, or Ring of Frost also. It's really good for shades. It's up to you. You always play Flame Patch in Mythic Plus as a fire, and Kindling. so you have more combustions, right? If you don't want to play a Night Fae at all, and you don't want to change like mid-key, it's fine. You can play Necrofrost. It's not that good in Ardenwood part as Night Fae, but when you have Deadburn, it's obviously good. But outside of that, you do a bit less damage, AoE damage. But this build is really good for single target, like for bosses. So maybe if you're struggling on Hakar or Dealer, Necrofrost is really good. I on high keys I go Merilith sometimes because I need some defensive for Mask, but if it's like 2021, you will survive Mask anyways. You can go Heimer for more AoE damage. But if you play Merilith, you make sure in Ardenville part you always use your Fleshcraft on cooldown because there's a lot of beasts, and when you use your Fleshcraft and you kill the beast, you will get 2% more intellect. You play Ice Repulsion, Gift of the Leech. That's two conduits that you always play as Necro, and then Unrelenting Cold for more AoE. I would go Cold Front, but if you see like if you have a team to play with, you're playing it with like every day, and you know that everything will die because you have Warlock or Survival Hunter. You can just go Slick Eyes for more prior damage for, I don't know, bosses, but I think Cold Front is just better on 45 weeks on high 45 keys, right? So I would go Cold Front, then Lonely Winter, Shimmer, Rune of Power, Frozen Touch, or Chain Reaction. Frozen Touch is like, at least it seems higher for me on AoE pulls. Chain Reaction is maybe a bit more single target damage, but with Frozen Touch on single target, like if you are struggling to reset your Ice Veins, Frozen Touch will help you to reset it. And then Frigid Winds for more slow and shades, Freezing Rain, always Freezing Rain in DOS, and that's it. It's not good as Night Fae in other part, but more boss damage as I said. So next dungeon is Halls. So you can play Night Fae Frost or Necrofrost, because in Halls on 45 weeks you just need slow, and it's necrotic and spiteful, so I think you cannot play fire because melees will lose so much uptime on pulls if they need to move because of spitefuls, and tank can die because of bears and necrotic stacks. So I think just if you're pugging, just go save, go frost, and then you can go Night Fae with full AoE build, disciplinary command, the standard conduits, and like Bone Chilling, Frozen Touch, and Freezing Rain. That's standard Night Fae DC build. It's really good for AoE. Maybe not that much damage on shards, but if you go Necro with High Mirror and more AoE, Unrelenting Cold and Cold Front, Lonely Winter, Frozen Touch or Chain Reaction, you can choose. It's fine. I would go Frozen Touch for more like AoE and Freezing Rain. With this build, you have like your Deadborn on every single shard. Of course, it depends on your route, but I always like ask group to play like shard into 1 or 2 pack and then shard again. So I have my Deadborn for every single shard, and I have really nice prior damage on that shard. And it's also really good for bosses, right? Because you're pulling like on first boss, if you're pulling something like the pack in the middle, you have a lot of targets, and you will do like you will stack, you will get like way more stacks in your Deadborn, right? So you will do more damage. Same as second boss. There he's spawning like 6 small ads, so it's really good. And third boss, if you are, I mean, a lot of people pulling collector, CCing collector on previous pull and then pulling it on the third boss. So you have funnel because that mob collector is spawning small ads that actually does nothing, but you have like more frozen orbs and more stacks in your Deadborn, and that's it. The next dungeon is Mists of the Tirna Scythe. So you can play like 2 even 3 builds here. So Necrofrost, Nightfall Frost, and Nightfall Fire. I would go with Necrofrost because if you are able to time your Deadborn on first boss really good, so you get Giga stacks before first intermission when he like takes way more damage, then I think it's really good. So if you want, like, if you need way more damage on first boss, because even on Fortify it can be spicy sometimes, you can go full single target for that first boss. It's like with Merilith, Ice Bite, so Ice Propulsion, Gift of the Lich is standard one, Ice Bite, even Slick Eyes or Cold Front. Slick Eyes is, as I said, more prior damage. And then Lonely Winter, Chain Reaction, and Splitting Eyes. So you have like prior damage on the tree, and while you are DPSing tree, you also cleaving the boss. So it's really good damage for first boss, and the 2 guys before first boss, 2 big guys, Splitting Eyes, Chain Reaction, Slick Eyes. It's really good. So, and it's fortified. You need to like kill them. Yeah. And after first boss, if you're playing this, or you can just go on this and don't change anything. If you want to change or play this, you go High Mirror, Unrelenting Cold, Cold Front, and then also you can choose between Frozen Touch and Chain Reaction. Maybe Chain Reaction is better for the first boss, so you have a bit more single target prior damage, right? I mean, the thing is, I didn't write this down, but I will actually fix that. I would go Splitting Eyes for the first boss, and then after first boss, even if I go this build, right? Splitting Eyes, and then after first boss, I Hearthstone out, like there is an innkeeper in front of the dungeon. And when you kill first boss, sometimes you will be all in combat for no reason. You kill the boss, but you're still in combat for a couple of seconds. And then I use my Hearthstone, because you can use your Hearthstone even if you're in combat, or you can use your dungeon teleport, but you need to wait a bit. So I always go Splitting Eyes for the first part of Mists, and then after that, after first boss, I go out and change to Freezing Rain, no matter what I play, Merilith or High Mirror. So since you need to, like, you don't need to, but since I'm gonna change anyways after first boss, then I just play this Merilith guy for the first boss, full single target, right? And then since I need to change anyways, then I will change Conduit. Soulbind also. So, but you can just go whatever if you're doing like lower keys or something. If you play Night Fae Frost, you just go like, I mean, it depends what you need. That's the thing. It's easier to play on first boss this build, because you don't have to time your Deadborn. You have like consistent damage. You will not have that much damage in intermission, but yeah, it's easier to play. So standard build, you can go Ice Bite or Unrelenting Cold. You can switch after. It's up to you. You can even play, yeah, that's true. You can even play Korain. And we're gonna fix that. You can play Korain. So Korain for the first boss. So Korain, Ice Bite. So Disciplinary Command on Freezing Winds, whatever you want. With Splitting Eyes. And then you go out again, then you swap to full AoE, Dreamweaver, Unrelenting Cold, Disciplinary Command. Then you can go Bone Chilling and Frozen Touch. It's up to you. So, like, if you are playing Korain, if you want more single target on first boss, so maybe you are struggling, Korain, Ice Bite, Lonely Winter, Chain Reaction, Splitting Eyes. Then you go out, swap to more AoE, Dreamweaver, Unrelenting Cold, Disciplinary Command, or Freezing Winds, it doesn't matter. Bone Chilling, Frozen Touch, Freezing Rain. Okay? But also you can play Fire if you're tank group doesn't need any slow for necrotic effects or for shades. Maybe you have triple range, so it will not that big of a deal if shade is like in melee, so you have time to react. Next dungeon is Plaguefall. I always play Necro in Plaguefall because it's really good for a Necro buff. It's really good single target damage for, let's say, first boss. So you skip, let's say, one additional add. For a second boss, you time your Deadborn for one bomb maybe, and then you will have it also a bit damage for the boss. For third boss, you have nice funnel because third boss is spawning adds for adds. So in your Deadborn and out of your Deadborn, you have more orbs and you can like stack up during Deadborn. For the last boss, it's really good because you extend your debuff if you have double Necro in the group, and it's really good. Like you can pop it in the first phase. I mean, it depends on your kill level, right, and how fast you're killing the boss. On high 45 key, I pop it on the first, when we pull the boss, right, and in the last phase. So it's good. I go high mirror. I mean, you can go Merilith if you need more survivability and single target, but I don't think you do. High mirror, unrelenting cold, cold front, frozen touch. I would play frozen touch, but you can play chain reaction, and of course freezing rain. But you can play Knife Edge also. I don't like it here. I mean, it's fine, but it's not optimal, and I wouldn't play that. But if you cannot play Necro, you can just go, like, it's Necrotic, Spiteful, you need to play Frost, then just go Knife Edge, Frost, Dreamweaver, Standard, Conduits, Disciplinary Command, or even Freezing Winds, Bone Chilling, Frozen Touch, and Freezing Rain. Fires is also possible, but I think, I mean, if you don't need the Necro, you cannot play Necro. Your team doesn't need slow for Necro, Necrotic stacks or shades, but that's like just too much things that, I mean, I think this is not gonna happen, but you can try. Next dungeon is Sanguine Depths. I would always play Necro because even on fortified keys, Sanguine Depths on bosses can be spicy. Like first boss shouldn't be a problem, but second boss is like can be spicy when it comes to damage on Ed that he spawns. So I think it's better. Like you have a bit more prior damage with this build. And third boss is actually scaling with fortified. Not every mechanic. There is like one mechanic that explodes. You have like 10 seconds to pick up the orbs. That mechanic is scaling with tyrannical, and it will not do that. It won't do that much damage on fortified, but the next after that there is a mechanic that where boss is spawning the pools on the ground and it does like AoE damage. That mechanic is actually scaling with fortified, so it does more damage on fortified weeks, and that ability is called Endless Torment. So, and as Necro, you have one additional defensive, that's Fleshcraft, and it's really good. And I did so much damage to that boss as a Necro. You need to move a lot, yes, that's true, but I think it's really good to play Necro on that boss because you do more single target damage than Knife Edge Frost. So standard build, Unrelenting Cold, Cold Front, Frozen Touch. I mean, you can play Chain Reaction. Frozen Touch, as I said, is like more AoE, and you are sure to reset your Icy Veins on single target. Freezing Rain, of course, because like in most of the keys, you always play Freezing Rain. In most of the keys. Unless in TOP, let's say, you play Splitting Dice. Okay, but if you cannot play Necro, you need slow again, just play Knife Edge Frost, Dreamweaver, Standard Conduits, Disciplinary Command, or Freezing Winds. Disciplinary Command is more AoE. Bone Chilling, Frozen Touch, Freezing Rain. This is standard Knife Edge DC Frost build. Then next is the Spires of Ascension. I would play always Necro here because you have like your Deadborn for important packs. It really lines up really good. It really lines up really, yeah. It lines up really good. So I would go Hymir for the first part of dungeon for more AoE with Unrelenting Cold and Cold Front, Lonely Winter, Frozen Touch, and Freezing Rain. You can go Chain Reaction. Like I'm repeating again. Like difference between Frozen Touch and Chain Reaction is not that big. Okay, you can play whatever you think. Like Frozen Touch is easier to play. Chain Reaction is like more single target damage. So this is nice boss damage AoE. Like you pop your Deadborn on first pull, then you do after first pull you do like small pack, then you fly. You have Deadborn on that pull again if you kill on first pull, and then you have next Deadborn either during boss. It depends on kill level, or the next pull if it's the skirmisher pull. And then you don't have nothing for the next pull, and then when you do double Goliath, you again have Deadborn, and next Deadborn is like on Spear pull if you're doing it with Goliath and Patrol on next platform, so it's really good. And then again boss, Helium pack, maybe third boss, so yeah. After the third boss, you can swap to more single target damage if you need it, if you have time. And then you go Merilith with Ice Bite, Slick Ice, Chain Reaction, and even Splitting Ice actually. So you have like really nice single target damage for angels and for the boss. But if you cannot play Necro, you don't want to play Necro, you can play Night Fae, Frost, DC, standard build. And then you can swap to Night Fae after third boss if you have time with Corain. So you put like Dreamweaver conduits like this. Like you need to do it before the dungeon starts, like the key starts, right? And then you put Corain with this conduits, Infernal Cascade, Discipline of the Grow, Control Destruction, Sun King's Blessing, or Disciplinary Command, and these are talents. You can actually change your flame page to the another talent, Conflagration, I think it's called, for more single target damage. That's actually true. I will fix that. And but it's fine. I think. I mean, third angel is really spicy sometimes. So with this, you have more single target, and I think it's necessary for third angel on high keys because Night Fae DC is not that good on single target, right? The thing is with this build, Night Fae Fire, you have very nice single target damage, damage for every angel, and during the spear on third angel, you should have combustion. While when you are playing Necro, you need to ramp up, right? So during the spear, you will not do that much damage. Unless you're delaying your spear, but I think you're not gonna do it because everyone else will pop CDs on start, right? So that's it for Spires. When it comes to Tazavesh, first is Gambit. I would play Night Fae, DC, standard build, Dreamweaver, these three conduits, Disciplinary Command, Bone Chilling, Frozen Touch, Freezing Rain. This is Giga AoE damage. So yeah, first part of the dungeon, you pull really big, and this is really good. After first boss, if you need more single target, but still I think you should stay Frost because it's necrotic and spiteful. But if you want to, you can change to fire if you need more damage on last boss, or overseer that spawn small guys, pulsar that pulsing like every, I don't know, 5 seconds and do a lot of AoE damage. If you need like more prior damage, then you can swap to fire, like standard fire build. Sanguine's Blessing, you can play around Ice Ward, Ring of Frost, or Frenetic Speed. So yeah, I would stay in Knife Frost for whole dungeon, right? Unless my group asks me to go fire because we need more single target, but I think that's not gonna happen because it's this week Necrotic and Spiteful, as I said. Next dungeon is Streets. I would always play Necrofrost in Streets. Just because of this week, you can play actually Fire in Streets, and I think it's maybe even better, but maybe not this week because it's Spiteful and Necrotic. So Necrofrost, Hymir, Unrelenting Cold, Cold Front, Frozen Touch, or Chain Reaction. You can go even Splitting Eyes in this dungeon if you are pulling like smaller. If you're pulling like at the beginning you pull like small 3 into 4 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 4. So if you are struggling with resetting your ice events, you can go Splitting Eyes and Chain Reaction, a Lonely Winter. And then if you're pulling, and if you go left side, let's say, Splitting Eyes is really good because you're playing one mob into 2 or 3 into 4. So you're not doing very big pulls in this dungeon unless you go right, let's say, or you're pulling big before first boss, like double pack. If you go right, then you can go Freezing Rain, Frozen Touch for more AoE, right? As I said here. Fire, I think it's a good on Tyrannical weeks here, but yeah, maybe not this week. Fire is not the play, maybe this week there. Necrotic Wake, I will go Night Fae Frost with standard DC build, as you already know. Because of nice AoE damage, in this dungeon, weapons are doing most of the work, so the reason why I would go Knife and Frost is just because of the last 2 bosses, because the last 2 bosses are kind of spicy even on Fortified with pugs. And this way you can actually swap during the RP in Necropolis. When you clear the Necropolis, then 2 guys will spawn, but you cannot attack anything there. You're just AFKing, and during that time, I use my dungeon teleport. I go out, swap to fire. I always use Korain, but if you want to play like whole dungeon as a fire, I'm not sure if that's a thing this week, but if you cannot play Frost or you don't want to, then you go Dreamweaver, but if you're swapping during the key, you go Korain, Control Destruction, so full single target, right? Sanguine's Blessing or Disciplinary Command, what you want to play. And then you can play actually Kindling or Pyroclasm. I always play Kindling because I want to combust like a left pack, right pack, and maybe even double combustion on boss, right? Maybe on Fortified 1 combustion. But I instead of doing Pyroclasm and then having combustion for the left pack, then going right pack and not having combustion, and then having Giga combustion for like boss, and it's not tyrannical, right? So I would go Kindling, but you can go Pyroclasm if you're used to play Pyroclasm. So you have nice damage for Gore Grind, Rot Spew, 3rd and 4th boss. The thing is, if you're playing Necrofrost, it's really hard for you to time your Deadborn on 3rd boss, because you will waste some time when he's not active. He is jumping on platform. You need to get him down with hook. So you are losing a lot of time there. So that's the first reason why Necrofrost is, I think it's not that good in this dungeon. And the second reason is because of the last boss. If you use your Deadborn pool and you will like go down, he will send you down with Dark Exile. I mean, your Deadborn is actually wasted. Like, you can cheese it with Gateway from Warlock, and then after you use Gateway, when he wants to send you down, you will get debuff and you will die after 40-45 seconds. You can block that off. If you manage to do that, then Necrofrost is really good in this dungeon. But yeah, or if you go down and you want to die, then they can rest you. It's fine, but then you need to hold your Deadborn. So only if you can skip Dark Exile, if it's on you, it's really good for boss damage, right? The thing is, you can play Hymir or Merilith. If you play Hymir, there is a trick on last boss. If you go down and you died there, with Hymir, you have like kinda, it's not cheated, but if you die, you will live for another 10 seconds as an undead or whatever. When you die downstairs, the boss will automatically send you up, but you will still be alive. And after 10 seconds, you will die again, right? Because that's like chi death of Hymir. And then when you die after that 10 seconds, you will get sent down where your corpse died, and no one can rest you then. That's the biggest issue with Hymir. So if you're playing Necrofrost, or you're not gonna die, then you can play Hymir, but I would play Merilith if I go Necrofrost, right? That's a little bit trick. I mean, we depleted 28 Necrotic Wake because of that, because I died. I didn't know. I died downstairs, like, and no one could rest me, right? But even if you go Merilith, you go Unrelenting Cold, Cold Front, Frozen Touch, or Chain Reaction, Freezing Rain, Lonely Winter. So yeah, that's it. You need to decide what's best for you and your party, what's safest. Are you enough confident to like not die downstairs, or yeah, it's just about you. Or you cannot play Night Fae, or you cannot play Necro, you don't like Night Fae, you don't like Necro, it's up to you. In TOP, this is the dungeon where you can like play a lot of different builds. So if you want to go like full single target and 2-target cleave, because there is a lot of situations where you play like 2-3 mobs, or even one, like in Zav area, where you like play 3, then you maybe chain when you kill Arbalest with a big guy, and then you play again big guy, and then you skip like Captain Pool, and then you go again big guy, like one target all the time. You can go Merilith with Ice Bite, Slick Eyes, Chain Reaction, Splitting Eyes, Lonely Winter, right? So this is like a bit less mobile, but like more single target, right? Because you need to cast your Blizzard maybe, and then yeah, this is fine. It's up to you. But if you want to go like more AoE, you know that you have enough single target. You can go Hymir, Unrelenting Cold, Cold Front, Chain Reaction, Splitting Eyes. This build I play in most of the cases. On Fortified Weeks, right? I'm gonna try Slick Eyes also, but yeah, you can play both. Only thing that I might considering is with instead of Splitting Eyes here in this build, I will try Freezing Rain. Freezing Rain because when you go to Gorge Up area, and if you're doing double pull, the smallies are jumping, and they will probably jump on you if you're only range player, or if you're the furthest target from them. And when they all jump on you, you will probably die unless you call for, I don't know, Bop or Ring from Monk on yourself, or I don't know, Vortex from Resto Druid, or Spear of Bastion from Warrior. So he grips them back when they jump. Or you can do another thing. You can sidestep that, but you need to perma move. And with Splitting Eyes, like it's kind of not possible sometimes because you want to cast your blizzard, right? And if you're popping your deadborn there on that pool, like you need to stand still and cast frostbolt, and sometimes it's just not possible. I died a lot of times there, so I mean, yeah, I'm pugging, but still. Or just separate that pool, do pool by pool, smaller pool, and play safe. The thing is, you can actually play Knife a Fire in this dungeon if you don't need slow, because like there is like 3 or 4 big pulls you do in the dungeon, like that Soul pull when you go to Kultharok, that's Gourd Chop. In Gorchap Wing, the first pack, and like when you go downstairs, there is one more pack where you play like 5+ mobs. There's 3, and that's kinda it, right? So Knife is possible. Knife Fire is possible even this week in this dungeon. So you play Dreamweaver, Master of Flame, Sun King's Blessing, or Disciplinary Command, and yeah, nice single target damage and also AoE. So I think that's it. It took a bit, but we did it. I did this because a lot of people are asking me what to play this week. There's like too many options. I cannot decide. I mean, this is not what you like stick to. Like, this is a recommendation. You don't have to play this. So like if you are like really cannot decide what to play, I think this is really good, like maybe like guide. You don't have to follow it directly. Maybe if you think, oh, here I should do this because I have Survival Hunter, so I don't need that much AoE damage. It's up to you, but this is, I mean, I'm just trying to help a lot of people because actually a lot of people were asking for this, so I did it. I will upload this sheet. Actually, I will share the link of this sheet on my Discord channel, so you will have access to it. So you don't have to uh, like view the watch this video all the time. And yeah, I think this will help you. So yeah, if you didn't, make sure you follow me on my Twitch channel, Dementius TV. I have UI updated. I did it today. So if you like my UI, my nameplates or whatever, it's available for my subs. And yeah, make sure to join my Discord, to follow me on my stream channel, to subscribe, of course. And yeah, I think that's it for this time. See you soon, guys. Bye bye.